Hello, and welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Have you ever poured two glasses of wine, both made from the same grape, say a Sauvignon Blanc, but one is from France and the other from California, and they taste worlds apart? Or maybe you've splurged on real Parmigiano Reggiano cheese and noticed a nutty, complex flavor that the shaker can version just can't touch. Why is that? What creates that unique, unmistakable taste of a specific place? The answer is a beautiful and complex concept called terroir. It's a French word that literally translates to earth or land, but it means so much more. It's the idea that the food and drink we love are living stories, written by the geography they come from. This connection is so important, it's protected by a special kind of intellectual property called a geographic indication, or GI. Today, we're going on a journey into the heart of flavor to understand how the ground beneath our feet, the air we breathe, and the traditions we inherit all come together to create the foods we cherish. So what exactly is terroir? At its heart, it's the unique fingerprint of a place. It's the sum of all the environmental factors and human traditions that give a product its special character. For centuries, this has been the secret ingredient in everything from wine and cheese to coffee and tea. And it's not just one thing. Terroir is a complex recipe with several key ingredients. First, and most obviously, is the geology and soil. Think of the soil as the pantry for a plant. Whether it's clay, limestone, sand, or rich volcanic soil, each type offers a different menu of water and nutrients. For example, the mineral-rich volcanic soils in parts of Slovakia give wines a fresh acidity and a distinct mineral taste. Sandy soils, on the other hand, often lead to lighter wines, while heavy clay soils can produce bolder, more powerful varieties. The plant's roots are constantly in conversation with the earth, and that conversation shapes the final flavor. Next up is climate. This is the big one. Temperature, how much rain falls, the hours of sunshine, even the wind. They all act as the director of a plant's life. These elements control the ripening process, the balance of sugar and acid, and the development of the aromatic compounds that create the smells and tastes we love. Then, there's topography. This is about the shape of the land. Is it a steep, sun-drenched hillside or a flat, cool valley? The altitude, the slope, and which way the land faces all determine how much sun a plant gets and how well water drains away. A vineyard on a hillside in Napa Valley might get that perfect angle of sunlight, leading to flawlessly ripe grapes. But terroir isn't just a gift from nature. It's also about the human touch. Generations of farmers and producers have passed down specific ways of growing, harvesting, and processing. These traditions, honed over centuries, are just as crucial as the soil. They are the techniques that unlock the potential of the land and give a product its signature style. And finally, there's a new piece to the puzzle that scientists are getting really excited about: microbiology. We're talking about the invisible world of native yeasts and microbes living in a specific location. These tiny organisms can play a huge role in fermentation, adding yet another layer of unique, local character to the final product. So when you taste terroir, you're not just tasting soil and sun, you're tasting geology, climate, topography, tradition, and even the local microbial community, all in a single bite or sip. This idea of a taste of place is so valuable that it needs protection. That's where geographic indications, or GIs, come in. Think of a GI as a legal guarantee. On an international level, the World Trade Organization has rules to protect these names. It ensures that when you buy something labeled champagne, it actually comes from the Champagne region of France and is made according to their strict rules. This protection is not just about being fussy, it has massive economic power. First, it creates price premiums. We, as consumers, are often willing to pay more for something we know is authentic and high quality. That extra money doesn't just go to a big corporation. It goes directly to the local producers, boosting their income and supporting their communities. GIs are also a fantastic marketing tool. In a crowded supermarket aisle, a GI label helps a product stand out, signaling its unique origin and quality. This can open doors to new markets, both at home and around the world. This economic boost fuels rural development. When a local product with a GI becomes successful, it can revitalize an entire region. It leads to more jobs in farming and processing, and it can even spark tourism. People will travel across the world to visit the place where their favorite cheese is made or their favorite coffee is grown. A great example is Boseong green tea from South Korea. Its GI designation helped to compete against cheaper imports by highlighting its special quality, which in turn boosted production and supported related local industries. And beyond the money, GIs are crucial for preserving culture and biodiversity. They give producers a powerful reason to stick with traditional farming methods and to protect the local plant varieties and landscapes that make their product unique. In a world leaning towards mass production, GIs act as a shield for tradition and a guardian of flavor. While we often think of European classics like Roquefort cheese or prosciutto di Parma, the GI system is a truly global phenomenon. Let's take a quick trip around the world. Our first stop is Mexico, home of tequila. Tequila is actually the oldest legally recognized GI outside of Europe. The rules state that it must be made from the blue agave plant, grown in a specific, biologically diverse region of Mexico. The tequila story is a huge success, but it also serves as a cautionary tale. Some critics argue that the regulations haven't done enough to protect traditional farming practices or the local environment, showing that a GI is only as strong as the rules that govern it. Next, let's head to South America, to the mountains of Colombia. In 2007, Café de Colombia became the first non-European product to get protected GI status in the European Union. Colombian coffee is often held up as a major success story. The GI has helped farmers by promoting sustainable practices and emphasizing the importance of the unique terroir of different coffee-growing regions. Now, over to Asia, to the Himalayan foothills of India, for a cup of Darjeeling tea. This iconic tea is another famous GI product. Studies have shown that while its GI status led to a modest price increase, it has significantly improved the overall quality of the tea being produced. These examples, from spirits to coffee to tea, show just how versatile and powerful the concept of a GI can be, protecting heritage and creating value for communities all over the globe. But the world of terroir and GIs isn't always smooth sailing. There are significant challenges and even conflicts. One of the biggest is the transatlantic divide between the European Union and the United States. The EU has a very specific and strong legal system to protect GIs. The US, on the other hand, relies on its trademark system. This has led to what some call the food name wars. Names like feta or parmesan are protected GIs in Europe, meaning they can only come from specific regions in Greece and Italy. But in the US, these are often considered generic terms that anyone can use. This clash of philosophies creates constant friction in international trade. An even bigger, more existential threat is climate change. Terroir is, by its very definition, tied to the climate. As global temperatures rise and weather patterns become more erratic, the very foundation of many GIs is at risk. A few degrees of warming could completely change the character of grapes in a famous wine region. This forces producers to ask incredibly difficult questions. Do we change our traditional methods? Do we try to redefine what our product tastes like? Do we have to start growing our crops somewhere else entirely? It's a massive challenge that threatens centuries of tradition. And finally, there's the age-old problem of crime, counterfeiting and fraud. Because GI products can command high prices, they are a prime target for fakes. Fraudulent products using a protected name not only steal money from legitimate producers, but, more importantly, they erode consumer trust. If you buy a bottle of fake olive oil that tastes terrible, you might never trust that brand, or even that region, again. So, in our modern world, which often feels increasingly globalized and standardized, the idea of terroir and geographic indications offers a powerful and refreshing counterpoint. It's a reminder that our food and drink are not just faceless commodities. They are the end result of a magical dance between nature and culture, between the earth and human hands. They connect us to a specific place on the map, to a rich history, and to a community of people who have dedicated their lives to preserving a legacy of flavor. A GI label is more than just a guarantee of quality. It's a passport to a place. It tells a story. So the next time you savor a piece of artisan cheese, a sip of fine wine, or a cup of single-origin coffee, take a moment. Think about the soil, the sun, the rain, and the generations of tradition that all had to come together to create that perfect moment of enjoyment. You're not just tasting food. You're tasting a story written in the language of the land itself. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online. Well, see you next time.